As you know, we are talking about some quality indicators which could enhance the use of curriculum design for language teaching. Now we're going to see what models are out there which could be used as a guide or as a help to shape the teaching processes for effective language curriculum design. Right. We'll begin with some of these models, and these models, as you will come to know through this brief discussion, they lay emphasis on on making choices, right choices for language curriculum design, and that's as you know, like we've been discussing throughout this course so far, that our particular teaching methodology is basically shaped by the philosophy, the core philosophy of language teaching we hold, right? What language teaching beliefs we have, right? Whether it's communicative or task-oriented or grammar translation method. So we have certain beliefs about, language teaching, and they eventually influence our pedagogical practice in the classroom. So it's important to see how these models or how these philosophies affect our language teaching, right? So according to Roberts, there are two types of models which are the main focus of this brief discussion. The first one is the operative, and the second one is the problem solving. So these models are not explicitly stated in curriculum design books. Rather, they are implicit in most of the language curriculum design language programs. So let's have a look at these two models and see what details are there. Operative. Well, the operative is very much bureaucratic or mechanistic model, as we have previously discussed, and it limits the teacher's activities to follow the guidelines or the instructions given by the administration or the requirements of the program. So in other words, teachers are likely to have less freedom to innovate their own teaching. And operative model is moreover like centralized sort of system where the main command is held by the administration or the goals of the program, and the teacher is just to follow the requirements. And this model actually sees curriculum design as a transmission of information, and the teachers are just there to follow the instructions laid down by the curriculum or the administration. As compared to operative, the problem-solving model is, as you could see here, is very much decentralized. I mean, it devolves sort of responsibilities to the teacher to make their own choices about language teaching, about their choices about practices in the classroom. So it's diversified in its approach because it accepts, learners' needs, their diverse learning styles. So, and since it's flexible as compared to the operative model, so the teachers could have the freedom to create materials or adapt materials according to the changing needs of the students. So these are the two models which are very much implicit in most of the language programs undertaken or practiced in different language programs or institutes. Right. There are different methods, and they have their influence on, our models of language teaching. We've got the communicative approach, which is, about using authentic language and which aims to develop fluency. And then we've got the cooperative learning method, which sees students as, which sees learning as a collective effort, putting students into pairs or group work, and then they are given a stimulus of reward, right? And then we've got the process approach where, writing is seen as a process-oriented activity, just to generate the ideas, draft the materials, and then put them together. And then lastly, we've got the whole language approach, which is very much eclectic, which could be used to combine different methods and activities for language teaching. So the whole notion here is language teaching. Our beliefs about language teaching, in one way or the other, they are influenced by our beliefs about language learning, right? So, for example, I myself see language teaching as something which is, a student-centered activity. So, my beliefs will eventually influence my practice, pedagogical, presence in the classroom, and I'll sort of teach language through communicative activities. So, the reason why we have briefly discussed these two models is we should be aware of what's implicit in language programs and how we can draw on different models of language teaching.